You're listening to the Pelicans post.
You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all for being in this one. Much love. Man, listen, report news, man. We talking early Saturday morning, man, because Willie Green, it's official. He's out of here, man. Willie Green's done as the Pelicans coach. This is reported about 10 to 15 minutes ago, and Willie Green is officially fired. He's out of here. The organization has released a statement already thanking Willie Green for his contributions, but his era is over. And a lot of it coincided. All right, anyway, let's get into the article, man, because, this is what it's saying. New Orleans Pelicans fire head coach Willie Green 12 games into his fifth season. The man should have been fired last year. The Willie Green era has come to an end. Willie Green, the Pelicans have fired their head coach on Saturday morning. Joe Dumars, executive vice president of Pelicans, announced the decision. After careful evaluation, we have made the difficult decision to make a change at head coach. Dumars said in a statement, "I have the utmost respect for Willie Green, and I'm sincerely appreciative of his contributions to the Pelicans organization and the New Orleans community." Green, who's 44, was in his fifth season as the Pelicans head coach. The Pelicans are 2-9 this season, including 4 losses by at least 20 points. His final game was Friday, 118-104, loss to the Lakers. A day earlier, Pelicans owner Gail Benson said in the interview, she was disappointed at the way the team had started. "We need to improve immediately. Our roster is built for success right now," right? But she made it clear that she was leaving the decision up to Joe Dumars, hired in April to be the team's executive vice president of basketball ops. She said, "I really like Willie Green." Y'all apologize. I was just doing a little exercising before I jumped on the broadcast. So "I really like Willie Green," Benson said, "but I hired Joe to assess our basketball operation. And that's what he's doing." Green was asked after a Wednesday night loss to the Trail Blazers about how he's handling the scrutiny that has to come with the team's slow start. She said Green said that the main thing for me is to control what I can control, continue to put the focus on pouring into our players, pouring into our staff. I totally understand the frustration. We are frustrated as well. We want to go out and step on the floor, and we want to compete every night. We want to compete every night and have a chance to win more games. That chance is now over for Willie. James Borrego, who has been an assistant under Willie Green since 2023, will serve as the interim coach. Borrego spent 3 seasons as the head coach of the Hornets. The Pelicans finished 21-61 last season under Green. It was the second worst record in the 82-game season in franchise history. The 04-05 team finished 18-64. Green was hired as the Pelicans head coach in July of 21 by David Griffin, the Pelicans executive vice president of basketball operations at the time. Griffin was fired in April and replaced by Joe. Despite the Pels' struggles last season, Dumars decided to bring Green back this season. It wasn't Joe's decision. And like we said on here on PPR, that this was all Gail Benson. You can notice the proximity of the firing versus the release of the article yesterday. She was the main reason why Willie Green was held up to this team. She's the reason why the team is failing. She would not allow Joe Dumars to can him, to fire him, to pick his own coach. Now she's contaminated the season because the Pelicans are 10 games under 500 right now. So they have a long way to fight back, but it starts today. Right. So let's see what she says. "I'm looking forward to going forward and working with Willie to push to success." This is what was said. Dumars went on to say that Pelicans fans will be proud of his product on the floor. No, we didn't. The style of play, the resilience, toughness, playing hard, never quit. None of that. That wasn't the case this season. Green compiled 150 and 190 record. He went 24-76 in his last 100 games. He led the Pelicans to the playoffs in his first season, the play-in tournament his second season, and the playoffs again in 23-24. Then a 49-33 record in 23-24, tied for the second most wins in franchise history. Last season, Pelicans were hit hard by injuries and never could recover because of the injuries. Green used 47 different lineups. Green is just the second coach in franchise history fired during the season. The only other one was Byron Scott, who was fired after a 3-6 start in the 2010 season. I have tremendous admiration and respect for Willie Green, Benson said in a statement Saturday morning, and I truly appreciate all he has done for our organization over the last few years. But this is a tough business, and these are difficult decisions. It's not personal. It's never personal. It's all business, and the business is winning. And if you cannot win, then you must go. And Willie Green is officially done. So I don't like to hit the clap button on somebody getting fired. That's kind of, it's not cool. But the way this whole situation carried on, this shows how inept the Pelicans were. And not just in particular, it was Gail Benson. I put it firmly on her. But now that is done, James Borrego takes over the team. The Pels have another matchup. We'll see what James's Pelican team looks like. What is it? Tomorrow, I think it is. Yeah, tomorrow. We'll see what his team like. So the Pelicans are 2-10. They're 8 games under 500, as opposed to, I'm thinking like 2-12. Like the next 2 games could be losses under Willie Green. But a lot of the players, were rumored have given up on Willie Green. It was just a lot of stuff, a lot of complaining, how he was making these adjustments, and it was time for him to go. He did not have any answers. But as we press forward, and Willie's done, let's move forward and take a look at what's happening with the Pelicans coming up. Sunday, November the 16th, Golden State Warriors. Of course, that's the 6 p.m. game on this upcoming Sunday. And then it's the first of the back-to-back. Monday, November the 17th, is the OKC matchup in the Smoothie King Center. And then into next week, middle of the week, Denver is also coming to the Smoothie King Center. 3 really tough teams. And then that Friday, the Pelicans hit the road for the first of a back-to-back against Dallas. And then they come home for a matchup against Atlanta. And then it rolls into the following week. So it's going to be one of these situations where the November slate of games, to finish out November, is going to be tough because we got Golden State a couple of times. We see Dallas. We see Los Angeles a couple of times this month. We got Chi-Town, Atlanta. We got Denver. We got Memphis again. So, I mean, we have this November slate of games has a degree of difficulty, but a renewed confidence. Now, as we move forward and say, look at what we getting with James Borrego, right? That's the next thing. Willie Green, that's old news. And we're just doing the breaking news that's old news insofar as this guy was supposed to be gone. But now, pressing forward, what does James Borrego give the Pelicans that Willie Green did not give them? Well, James Borrego is actually a better head coach than Willie Green. And I'm saying in terms of scheme, he's a better teacher. He's a better motivator. He's more structured. He's more organized in his basketball mindset. His ideology, his ball movement, his ideology, his player movement. He is a really intelligent offensive mind when it comes down to that. He has some deficiencies on defense, but he believes in moving the ball. You know what AD says on the broadcast about moving the ball has energy. So, the ball movement is something that we, under Willie Green, especially this year, are one of the worst teams in the league in assisting. Well, James Borrego style, he's a guy that believes in getting up the court. And like I said, he will give them an identity. The Pelicans have not, under Willie Green, established an offensive identity or defensive identity. They haven't established anything. They're just a team that just floats from strategy or whatever they're doing, whether it's these sorry drop coverages and all this other stuff that got going on. It's just a joke. But what Borrego does is he will give the Pelicans more of an offensive mindset. And his style caters more toward the offensive pieces that we have, like a Zion or Jordan Poole, a Trey Murphy III. He will get these guys and he will help situate and stabilize lineups. So he will provide a lot that we simply weren't getting for the team. And a small thing is, how long will this take before we start seeing improvement? Well, to fire Willie Green early on this Saturday, does give James Borrego the word. So, okay, you the coach now. Let's go to work. So practices today, and then of course what happens when we play tomorrow. How fast does the system get? Borrego's not new. He's been here for it's like that, like I said, since 2023. So he will help. He's not the perfect coach, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of his offensive acumen, I think he can establish an identity. And then, of course, remember a couple of years ago, another indication is when Willie Green got sick and he had to miss the game against Dallas. The first game, it was like not a back to back, but like a day a piece between the Dallas matchups. One of those weird schedules where we had to play Dallas and we had to go up to Dallas and play them. The first game, Dallas whopped the Pelicans under Willie Green. He was head coaching. Willie got sick. The next time they played him, which was like a day later, I think it was 2 days later, a day later, 2 days later, I forget. But when Borrego stepped in for a sick Willie Green, the team looked totally different. And what he had did from that point forward carried on for the rest of the season. Like they had that offensive mojo going in large respect, even though Willie Green didn't exactly know how to keep it going consistently. James Borrego had them rocking and rolling, and it didn't take him a long time to do it. And I think this team is a little bit more talented than that team that we had then. So with it all said and done, how fast would it get going? Well, he has now to getting them in practice, get things installed. And like I said, he's been there since 2023. So he has the ear of the players. And now that Willie Green is done, it should be not a breath of fresh air, but like sighs of relief to the guys. That's like, man, this guy, I can't play for a guy I don't respect. I can't play for a guy, who is, that just don't know what he's doing. So with him out of here and Borrego there, we should see some type of offensive push or more competitive games. So we're here. We finally got this man out of here mid-November. The team is 2 and we're 2-10 and 5th in the Southwest. We got to be about the business of climbing out the hole now. And like I said, we got a tough slate of games coming up. Golden State and Oklahoma are Sunday and Monday. So, boy, we got some work. We got some work to do. You understand? But anyway, like I said, man, Willie Green, just letting y'all guys know that it's official as of Saturday morning that Willie Green is gone. Willie Green is out of here. He is done as the Pelicans head coach, and James Borrego takes over for the squad. So big ups to you guys for being in the building as well. And this is what we got. All right. Lavelle says Borrego head coach reckon is 130. What team did he have though, Lavelle? You got, when you say statements, man, use the contrast. Go look up the type of team he had there. We talking about identity and what he can do with this team, bro. That Charlotte team was shit, man. Contrast, bro. Look it up. Go look up what the team looked like. Yeah, that's right. No, that's not it. Lex been doing. She been having her coaching. She's a referee and she has some stuff that she been doing, man. She been very busy, but she'll pop up there. Brother Hakeem, shout out to you, man. Says Looney should not be starting. Yeah, Carlos should be out if should be out there. If Poole doesn't like his role, grant him his trade request if he wants one. I don't believe he is hurt that bad. A lot of people are saying that. As a matter of fact, a strong rumor that's behind that with Poole. That's a strong rumor that was behind that with Zion Williamson. There are quite the people that was against Willie Green, and it's just sad that Gail Benson sat up there and let that man destroy the team. But now she took so much heat. She tried to push that shit off on Joe Dumars. And like I said, in article, I deciphered and broke down several terrible mistruths by her in an attempt to cover herself from the blame of what was going on with these teams failing. So I got one that I did yesterday, but I had some technical issues, but it'll be coming out today, man. It'll be released probably in the next hour or so. All right. Yeah, this will be the next one we'll probably do. It'll probably be Sunday night where we'll open up the phone lines and let family members kind of get their word in. So it is what it is. Maul says, Q, I know you called Dumars to get Willie. No, man. You can kind of read the Rum family. Now, be honest, y'all can read the Rum when you seen um, the statement come out, it was a matter of time before he got fired because she did that article and released that information, she being Gail Benson, to try to pull herself from the blame. I was telling people, listen, that's Gail all the way. These news people talking about it was Joe Dumars. That's not even Joe Dumars' modus operandi. He doesn't even operate like that. He don't have any problem firing a man if he's not doing the job. He doesn't. He don't have any problem with that. That's not how he operates. It didn't make sense because it was Gail. And she had a pattern to it because I showed you the previous pattern was what happened with Elvin Gentry. Remember, Elvin Gentry, in his first year under David Griffin, Griffin wanted to fire Gentry. Griffin did not like Elvin Gentry, and Elvin Gentry did not like David Griffin. Griffin wanted to fire him, and it was Gail Benson that stopped it. She did the exact same thing with Willie Green under Joe Dumars. Then she spins this whole narrative about this is in Joe. I trust Joe to do it. No, you were the one that was scumming up the works. That and talk about accountability and gonna lie like that. So no, we don't believe you. Outside of that, now that he's gone, because the pressure was so much, so she had to create an escape lane as opposed to saying, you know what, it was me. I thought I liked the guy. I wanted the guy to be here. No, it don't have nothing to do with likes, man. It's wins and losses. That's what this is about. This man overstayed when he wasn't supposed to be here that long. We could have had a whole new coach situation, but it's about time. All right. What's up? What's up, Triple D? Good to see Triple D. That's right, baby. We got rid of his ass. We have to look at that GPS finder he walking around with, man. All right, big ups, man. All right. Yeah. Virgo says, damn, keep Willie Green. You're a Hawks fan. Okay. Mr. Brooks said, I wish Willie the best. Indeed, bro. Let's not be, a lot of people are upset and want Willie Green. He overstayed. Willie Green, to me, I lost a lot of respect for Willie Green during this process, how he handled the players who were upset about his style. He didn't handle it like a G. He didn't go to the players and talk to them, all this kind of stuff. He handled it really weaselly. And I thought Willie Green was a better person than that, but I did not like how the petty, weaselly way he handled his players as opposed to stepping to them when you ain't a good coach, dog. I mean, you're not a good coach. You fail, you flawed. The last thing you need to be is petty and pretend like you know what you're doing when you don't. But Mr. Brooks says, I wish Willie the best, but it was time for a change. Despite his issues, I still don't hate him. I hate Dale. Yes. Like I hate Dale Demps. Mr. Brooks, 6'10", man. You are a true Pelican throwback, bro. A Pelican Hornet throwback. Yes, Dale Demps, Elvin Gentry, or Jeff Bauer. Yeah, Jeff Bauer was the worst. Nah, actually Dale Demps was, but Jeff Bauer really wasn't too good of a general manager. But that's what kind of people we had as supposed at the time. They didn't have the VP role. That was something that was created when they was trying to lure Joe Dumars to the Pelicans when Tom Benson was alive, and Tom Benson found out what his asking price was, and then like, no, we ain't paying that. So they just went back to the original thought. That's what they tend to do from time to time. They had to go back. But yeah, I wish him the best as far away from me as possible, man. As far away from me as possible, brother. So yeah, and in terms, man, I want everybody to understand, man, listen, we as an organization, this is just the first step, like going into the season. Like, the team's going to go the interim route with James Borrego, and that will be how they move this thing forward. And then, of course, after the season is over with, then the Pelicans will hit the the off season of 2026, and it'll be about the business of hiring the right coach that should have been here this year. So Mike, I'm hearing Mike Malone could be one of those because of the ties that Joe Dumars have, and this could really look something different. And I'm sorry we have to wait to 2026 and going into the off season of 2026 to see this sort of thing happen. But I think they're going to go the interim route. That's what it appears to be. But the goodness about that is the fact that, like I said, with the current cast of players that we have and the better offensive outlook from strategy standpoint and Borrego, what I'm saying is identity matters. We have to be able to put together an identity, and the Pelicans will play well with that offensive identity. that Borrego installs in the team. They'll be a lot more competitive, a lot better to look at, and all this kind of stuff. So they won't be perfect, but they'll be better and more consistent than what we're looking at. But there's a lot of tough teams that are lining up in November that the Pelicans going to have to kind of fight their way and claw their way back into this season, man. So we'll just be here to witness it. But this is everything that we want, right? All right. Anyway, B. Thomas says, talking about it's ridiculous about people want Loomis gone. I know, bro, but that is it is these people are as blind as a bat. They're in her that statement she released, that whole little article she did yesterday with NOLA.com and Jeff Duncan. That just showed she is as blind as a bat. Blind as a bat. But do know how to run away from accountability really well. Now I was like, man, that article, what she was saying in that, it pulled the veil off of her and showed the Gail Benson that beat the Rita Benson LeBlancs and her team to take the franchises from them. That shows she ain't nothing nice. Like you got this sweet love, Gail so sweet type of thing, man. That's a smoke and mirror. Because Gail Benson ain't nothing nice. When it's time to rip out the claws, Gail Benson is clawing your eyes out. That's what kind of thing this is. I'm like, damn, Gail fight dirty. Gail, that sweet little grandma, that's how she gets you, sweet little grandma. And then you get close to her, she pulls out the shank. You're like, damn, where did that go? Yeah. You better get out of here. So, I mean, it's one of these things, man, where it's a little late in the game for it to happen, but eventually it happened. No surprise, but damn, it's a relief. All right. What's up, Bird Talk? Shout out to Bird Talks. Mike Garcia says, I'm alone. Well, yes, indeed, Mike. Yes, indeed. We talked about that. Darrell, shout out to you, brother. Says, go get Mike. Yeah, Mike Malone is somebody that's interesting. Jay Black, shout out to Jay Black. What's up, YO? Big ups to you. No, Lavelle, they not all of them are soft, bro. Don't get it misconstrued. Like if you have a system that you don't believe in and a coach that's really Willie Green was really a soft coach, right? He was really soft. He had dumb alignments. He had no feel for the game. He was not a strategist. He couldn't draw up a play in the clutch moments. That's why the clutch time record was terrible as it is. It was like what 0-22, 0-23 in clutch moments. So he couldn't dial up plays. So if it got close and down to it, he would simply fall out of it. The players didn't believe in Willie Green. If you ever played like organized sport and you had a coach that the team recognized as not smart and an idiot, it's difficult to win for that guy. It really is if you don't believe in him. And then guys started falling off. Jordan Poole just got here and fell out with Willie Green. He just got here and fell out with Willie Green. But what did Willie Green do? Did he try to go to him to smooth it out? No, he showed some pettiness that I thought he shouldn't have done. If you are in battle, you have to be able to kind of gather the troops. And even if you don't know what you're doing, you take their insight, add them into it, add them into it, to ask their opinion, ask what should we do? How should we do it? And Willie Green, it just wasn't going to work because he was a fraud anyway. He should never have gotten his job. He basically sold his soul for this job anyway, because no real head coach candidate would take the team under the requirements that he took the team. That's why Jacques Vaughn and others turned it down. They turned the Pelicans. I seen an article somebody wrote, and I'm like, these people don't know what the fuck they talking about, fam. Pardon the French, but they were saying stuff like the Pelicans, this, that, and the third. No, a lot of coaches didn't take the job originally when Willie Green stepped on the scene was because they did not want to take, because the request by David Griffin at the time was that if you take the job, you have to take the previous coach's assistants, which is ridiculous. That is unheard of. You as a head coach, if you take the job, you assemble your own staff. You assemble your own staff. You don't take anybody's other people because you might not have worked with these people before. So if you're going to win, you want to win with your guys. And that's what David Griffin told them. They wanted him because they did not want to cut these coaches loose and pay them off and then hire new ones. That's what kind of cheap shit that was going on. So that's what really happened, because this is our team. We covered it. So he took those people as his coaches because he knew he was never going to get a head coaching job nowhere. We know that the truth because he's not really good at that. That's not what he's good at. He's not head coach material. He's an assistant coach. And like I said, it just showed that he did not improve as a head coach. He didn't get better at the things that you need to get better at. He just didn't. I don't know why. I don't know. He just didn't. So in the end, it's just what it is. But I do think that you'll see more of improvement because the interim coach has experience as a head coach, even though it was a garbage Charlotte team. But he did have them. If you watch the games, he did have them moving. They just didn't have the talent. But they were playing hard. They were excitable. And he was respected, even like we talked about on the show with Jason Kidd, make the comment about James Borrego, that James Borrego, he was worried about Borrego in that game, that second match, because he understood what James Borrego was. He's a extremely smart, offensive-minded coach. Now, he does have issues defensively, but with the collection of talent that we have, I think that we can thrive in a structured Borrego offense. We've seen it in small doses since he's been here. It's just Willie Green's style is inconsistent. He kind of had like what you call it? Bipolarism. It was like his style or whatever. Willie doesn't have a style. Whatever he was doing versus Borrego's offense, it just was clashing. Like, it just wasn't synergistic over a long period of time. Like, he was brought in to kind of get the offensive game going. He would be the offensive coordinator in football speak, right? And it just never meshed like it was supposed to. And I think that's because Willie Green didn't fully understand his offensive principles. You could see Borrego standing up, pointing and telling players to do what to do off the bench. Now that Willie Green is done, the focus he can be the fulcrum to help organize and galvanize these people. He was really high on Derek Queen. Y'all seen the interview at halftime. He was talking big positive love about Derek Queen. Borrego is, I'm speaking of. And he mentioned a lot of players. Watching them and understanding these people, being that he's the interim coach, he might have an idea how to better utilize these people in his system. So this is a positive, this is really the best that we can do right now. Will Joe say we're going to go and hire Mike Malone in the middle of the season? I don't think he's going to do that. I think more than likely he'll probably do that at the end of the season. He'll go through a list of candidates and they'll clean house. Willie Green's assistants, all this kind of stuff. They'll clean house and they'll get the right guy. This for next year, that is. But this year, fam, this is about as good as it gets right now, you see. All right. So anyway, yeah. Brother Thomas says Gail not paying for Mike Malone. She says she spent the money for a winning product. I hear you, bro. We'll see what they do. We'll see, bro. We will see. All right. What's up, TFP? I see you, bro. All right, Bird Talk. So I'm glad they fired Willie Green because I wasn't going to watch until he was fired. I only missed 5 games. Wow, man. See what it comes down to. What's up, Jedi? Shout out to Jedi Connors, man. Young Bloods, what's up, man? Saying Miss Misi should be back in the starting lineup. He got 10 minutes. Remember, Misi, according to the reports that the rumored reports, strong rumors, that he liked a tweet that Willie Green should be fired. And of course, Willie was petty behind that. But if Willie was real, you're like, man, you know what? Yeah, I actually should have been fired because I stink. The team doesn't respect me. The players don't like you, but yet you have the nerve to be petty behind it. That to me was really, really eye opening. I thought Willie was a better person than that. Big Dog Space, he says, won't no coach succeed there if they can't keep Zion. I disagree with that, Big Dog. I disagree with that. Zion is, even though the team is supposed to be built around Zion Williamson, they have enough talent to win games if Zion is unhealthy. They have talent to win. I don't think necessarily the problem is always Zion's health. I think the problem we had from a team standpoint was we had no coaching. We didn't have a structure. We didn't have anybody that was leading this team anywhere. It's a difference when you have a guy that knows what he's doing, that creates an identity for the team to play behind. Because whether Zion is in there or not, the team still will have the same philosophy when it matches up with other teams, because you're not going to always have these guys. So, but the temperament doesn't disappear because Zion is not healthy. You get what I'm saying? They're still going to play hard regardless. That's almost similar to what we see with other teams who are missing their players, but they're still in there fighting their asses off. I seen when we played OKC, they had 3 starters missing, but they had guys coming off the bench that was still handling the business. It's just it just tied to identity, not to particular any player. But they have to have an identity and a mindset in which everybody has to galvanize behind. But Zion is a big part of it. So Steph says it finally happening. Bye bye, Willie. What's up, Benny? Says, are they giving Willie a cushy front? No, not that I heard of. Reports are saying Willie's out the door, man. Jay Horn says this move will probably unlock Z. Bayou says Willie Green, Willie coached them into 4 losses indeed. Charisma 1976 says, is it really true about Misi? You think that when yes, indeed. The Misi thing, man, is a strong rumor. Like, let me tell you, fam, a lot of they're rumors because nobody from the team is going to step up and say, hey, man, I'm giving a thumbs up to this. Some of this stuff it just will not be admitted to until the people that's involved are away from the team. Let's say, for instance, some players leave next year and then they go somewhere else and then they'll speak on it. We usually get it, that way. But there are very strong rumors about Eves not liking Willie Green, and you can see it play out in the games where he came back, he got no minutes. And that's like really funny how that happened. The Zion Williamson, him not playing and not his injury related, the Jordan Poole injury situation, a lot of that is strong rumors that those players are, have kind of, I ain't gonna say, for lack of better words, boycotted Willie Green and not wanting to play for him. And people going to Joe Dumars and talking to Joe Dumars about, Willie Green and Joe at the time. So it was a very strange environment because Joe's supposed to be the top man running the Pelicans, but Willie Green had the protection from the sort of like the godfather, the godmother, the godmother of the Pelican Mafia is Gail, and Gail's had her seal of protection on Willie, basically in kind of Italian mafia lingo, made Willie. So you can't hit a made guy without the permission of the boss. I did a whole Godfather thing, man, but that kind of fits if you think about it. So Joe Dumars could not remove Willie without her blessing. And when she did that article yesterday, and I was like, now she's absolving herself of any blame, even though we know it was you. And then after that comes out, the next day he's fired. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. We can't put 1 and 2 together. Cut it out. All right. What's up, brother? Mo says culture. Yes, indeed, man. That's what we looking for. What's up, Ross? Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all. Up early in the morning, man. We talking about the Pels, man. It's some good news. Willie Green is up out of here, fam. I think that's a good analogy, huh, family? The mob thing, right? Now, Willie Green couldn't get hit. He couldn't get the button, put on him because he was protected by the godmother, So the moment she took her blessing off yesterday with that article, he gets fired the next game, the next day. What's the difference? He was losing multiple times prior, but it takes the statement the day after the statement. Who was holding who back here? It wasn't Joe. I was telling these people, these national folks that's talking about Joe Dumars needs to be fired and Troy Weaver needs to be fired. They did not understand what was going on here. This is not a regular situation. This is an owner that was protecting a guy that wasn't supposed to be here. Youngblood seeing all those empty seats Smoothie King Center last night with the Lakers of town had to be an eye opener for Joe Dumars. He been seeing it, bro. Remember, it was Joe Dumars that brung it to Gail Benson at 0-6. He been trying to do this. If Joe Dumars really had his way, he would have fired Willie Green at 0-6. It was Gail Benson that pushed it up until this point. It was her that did all of this. Joe Dumars was trying to fire him at 0-6. Go look it up. They called the meeting and were talking about having serious internal dialogue or discussions. What you mean serious? Who's having talkings? Who's talking? The guy's 0-6. He's lost the team. Guys don't want to pay for him. And you mean to tell me you having discussions and then they didn't fire him? That was Gail doing that. Joe was trying to get her to understand we have to do something. And she would not move off of it. She stayed behind Willie Green and kept on protecting him until she couldn't take. Now she came. They were that heat for her ass, it came for her to the point where she had to kind of back up off, say, okay, I'm done. So I mean, I'm glad it over. But once again, it's showing you that the same way we had to get rid of Dennis Allen family was the same way we had to get rid of Joe Dumars. We said that when they fired Dennis Allen, last year? We said that's like the same way we got rid of Dennis Allen. It will be the same way we get rid of, just in reverse. Then the same way we get rid of Dennis Allen is the way we get rid of Joe Dumars. And that was true. That was a prophecy. And it happened too. We had to force these people out of here because the leadership doesn't have any vision. How could you not see the man was not the right coach? How could you not see that? Because these people are blind. They're blind to the money. T. Roy says, I just don't understand why we had to wait so long to fire us, man. This is Gale, fam. I'm telling y'all what it is. Think about the comparison, the contrast between the statement she put out yesterday and the fact that he gets fired today. Think about that. Why didn't they fire him at 0-6 when they were having serious internal discussions, as the reports indicated? He was supposed to be, if Joe had his way, he would have fired him then. The team wasn't respiring. They was losing games big. They was losing games to teams that they weren't supposed to lose to. We lost to a Memphis team by 6, and they were missing all of their people, like all of their reserves. It was 4 or 5 people missing. They still beat the Pelicans. But the Willie Green's team, he had some success here, but he wasn't the guy to take this team to the next level. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm glad he's gone. Bayou says people on staff was reporting. Yeah, that's right, Bayou. Shout out to you. Said people on the staff was reporting a crash out mode. Wait, yeah, they were. It was a very difficult environment in the building with Willie Green there. Very unnatural, but it goes where it's supposed to. What's up, Tasha? Shout out to my girl Tasha. She says, good morning, Q. Congrats on Willie Boy Joy Green and being fired. Long overdue indeed. Thank you, Tasha. Appreciate it. She's a San Antonio Spur gal, and she's showing some love. Thank you so much for that. All right. Yeah, Daryl says Troy Weaver ain't no good GM. No, well, he has some positive stuff, but overall, I'm not impressed with him as a general manager. We really don't have a general manager right now. Remember, Bryson Graham left to Atlanta, and the Pelicans never announced. I don't know. I think we did hire a G. Did we? I want to say, hold on. I think we did announce a guy. I think he was. Hold on. Let me look that up, fam. Give me a second. Give me just a second. That's interesting because I want to say that once your boy left, what's his name? Bryson Graham. When he left the Pelicans, I want to say the Pelicans did not name somebody. I pass a lot of news on, man, but let me look up the hierarchy of the team. Let me see here. Give me just a second. Let me look it up because I want to say, hold on here. I want to say they did not name a new general manager. They did not name, but although I know if something like that were to occur, like, who would fall into that, it more than likely would be Troy Weaver because he was a GM before. But I don't think they announced a general manager. They most certainly didn't. Here's their website right here. You can see Joe here. Troy Weaver is the senior vice president. Joe's the executive vice president of basketball ops. Adam Barnes is the assistant general manager. So as you can see, there is no GM. You don't have a GM. So I think probably Troy Weaver will activate as the de facto general manager because he's done it before. He has experience. Plus, they just did not make it official. I think he and Joe Dumars will probably share the role or however between the two. But like I said, I don't think they replaced him at all. All right. So anyway, man, let's keep it going, man, in the building. But like I said, man, early Saturday morning, rather. And we are talking about the fact that the Pelicans have laid the smackdown on Willie Green, and he's up out of here. Willie Green's a done daughter. His era of basketball is over with. We head into the James Borrego, interim coach James Borrego era of basketball. And like I said, this is the article right here. This is from their website, the Pelicans website, they pretty much showing here. They're saying New Orleans Pelicans relieve Willie Green of his head coaching duties. James Borrego named interim coach. This is from their site, pelicans.com. And I already read you guys the statements early on. And then, right under there, hold on here. Let's see. Yeah, this is yesterday. Jordan Poole update, the Jordan Poole update, medical update, yesterday, 6:21 p.m. And let's see, he's making good progress, reassessed in 1 week. I think Jordan Poole's going to have a pretty fast recovery. He's going to have a pretty fast recovery. So this is crazy, man, how this works. Why can't we just get these people to do right? Why can't we get them to do right? we got to get them to do right. Why we got to do all this? Why we got to do this for these people to make the most simplest decisions? Why we got to say we ain't going to the games? Why we got to do that, man? Why? I don't understand. All right. we can't. I'm telling y'all, that's crazy, man. We got to do all this to get these people to do right. I just don't understand. All right. Anyway, man, it's done. It is done. It's over with. The next game that the Pelicans will play will be Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time in the Smoothie King Center, up against a Golden State Warrior team with Steph Curry. What kind of Pelican squad will we see? We should see a little bit smarter team, a more structured team, a team that's more relaxed, a team that should be able to be moving the ball a lot better. Because that's what Borrego's principles are. He loves the ball movement. He's structured that way, getting up and down the court. He's disciplined with that approach. And like I said, in terms of having an assistant or an interim coach to step in, Borrego with these offensive counterparts, we have Jay Fears and the Derek Queens. We should see a more formidable. Not saying they're gonna go out there and beat the brakes off of teams, but you should see a more competitive team. At least. So we'll see. All right. So anyway, man, with that being said, okay, Jedi, what you saying, brother? He says, go back to your last comment that you made. All right. Let me see if I can find it, my brother. I don't see your last comment. Can you just say what you want? Oh, no, here you go. Is this the one you're talking about, bro? He said, Willie likes Queen, not Zion. I don't understand that. I think the reason why he probably don't like Zion, because I'm rumored. Fam, these are hot rumors that can't be verified, but you can kind of look, do the knowledge and look between between the actions to kind of see it, is that Zion Williamson was supposed to be having this, talking to Joe Dumars about the status of what's going on with the team, this sort of thing. So you could see him talking to Borrego, not so much to Willie Green. And that's why I was like, Willie Green really in these nasty moments showed a really nasty negative side of himself with all the losing. He got extremely petty in his behaviors, which I think you don't have the right to do that if you losing like this. You're not going win your team over by showing and being petty like what he was. He got real stinking petty with a lot of these players. And once you lose your team, I don't know why you would take that path to that course of action, because it'd be the team that would stand to protect you. If anything, if they loved you and they would play for you, then they could have salvaged your job. But you being petty when you're dumb and you don't know what you're doing, that was a bad energy and a bad way to do. So when he showed that, I lost a ton of respect for Willie Green. I really did. When I seen his nasty petty side, when he losing his stinking ass off, I was like, man, you can get the elephant. You can get on up out of here, playboy. How you gonna be petty and you dumb? You don't know how to call timeouts on time. You don't know the rhythm and the flow of the game. You're messing up lineups. Guys, when they hot, you're taking them out of the game and putting in lineups that have no offensive ability. When you need offense. I mean, how you just reserve the right to be petty and you're that stupid in your rotation and your coaching acumen? I mean, how could you be petty with that? I'm just asking the question. How could you be petty? You can't. So in the end, that pettiness and him losing the team should have cost him his job last year. We've been saying it, but I'm happy it happened today. Let him go and find something else to do. Coaching is not your thing, bro. Maybe you can go and be an assistant coach on somebody's team. That's fine. But head coaching is not what you're good at, bro. You're not good at that. Not everybody can do it, but you got paid and you suck at this lady. And for the last 5 years, almost 5 years, or 5 years indeed, you suckered her in and became a head coach. You lived your dream. So, that's that. You got paid. So move the hell on. Let somebody else that know what they do take over the team. And that's what we got going on. So like I said, I just lost a lot of respect for him. All right, what's up, Stacy? I'm going to say fire Willie Green every day. There's no need for that, Stacy. The man gone, bro. That's like beating a dead horse, bro. It don't make any sense. Charisma says, so you think it's confidence that Zion will most likely be playing Sunday? I'm not sure on the Zion Williamson thing, bro. Not sure on it. They did say that Zion was practicing again. But it would be interesting. It would be very interesting that on Sunday Zion is playing and on Monday Jordan Poole would be playing. I'm just saying, because it would definitely validate the rumors that has been swirling around that certain players, and I'm talking about really good players, do not want to play for Willie Green because they don't see any success in the system. And they don't trust him. They don't like him. That's because he turned real negative and nasty and demonic toward the back end with all of that crap that he was doing. So it's just what it is. All right. Cold Chillin says, about time. Shout out to you. We need to get these new lineups together and go on. Yeah, we got work to do, fam. We got to go. Mike says, Willie made more money as a coach than a player. Indeed, bro. Good comment. Indeed. All right. Tim's Avenue says it's not his fault. I guarantee he finds another opportunity and thrives. It's not whose fault? Willie Green's fault? Not Willie Green's fault, my brother? I mean, I would have to disagree, bro. I have to respectfully disagree with you, Tim's Avenue. I mean, this is what we do at PPR, man. I'm telling you straight off top, man. This ain't no one hit quitter, dude. We've been dealing with this and dealing with this for over a decade, man. we know what the problem is with the team, fam. I mean, and of course, if you changed out everything. You changed out the players. You changed everything except the coach, and they still failing like this. Come on, bro. And even when they had all of the players healthy, they were still losing games, bro. Come on. So I mean, it's not his fault. No, bro. It is definitely Willie Green's fault. He's the head coach. If the team succeeds or fails, it's on him. He gets the credit if they succeed. He gets the blame if they don't. It's the head coach. He's the leader of the team. He is the guy. If there is any blame to be issued out, it will be issued out on the head coach. That is a common thing across professional sport. If you got a head coach running a team, if they're having problems, the first thing people are going to turn to is the head coach. And when they turn to him, they would be looking at him and they would be in truth mode because Willie Green is not a good head coach, bro. He is not. And like I said, I'm not going to go over the laundry list of things I just said about bad rotations, dumb lineups, no feel for the game. I'm not going to go into a perpetual laundry list of things that I've personally witnessed from Willie Green over his tenure here that he was supposed to improve upon, and he did not. He is not. He's a solid assistant coach, but he is not head coach material. And he is prolonged here because the ownership is not smart. Let's just put it like that. I'm not going to lambaste her too much, but she was not smart and are making decisions based on likes as opposed to results. That is facts. That is facts, my brother. So I disagree with that, my friend. I disagree. You must be Willie Green's relative or something, huh, bro? Is that your cousin or something, bro? Because I know a lot of people in the chat, and I don't know too many people that say it's not their fault that watch the games. So if you want to clarify that, bro, I'll pop your comment and put it in there. All right. Shout out to Black Preacher, man. OG Jerry. What's up, brother? Big ups to OG, man. Just talking at y'all, man. I got a few minutes to talk at y'all before we get on up out of here. All right. Start the day. We got a lot of stuff going on. LSU stuff on Tough Tiger Talk, fam. They fire up against Arkansas today. That's on tap. We got another report coming out that I did on the mobile as we was moving. I was traveling yesterday, so they have a distortion in it just a little bit. I tried to clean it up, but that'll be something we do. It's a reaction to Gail Benson. So I got a few reports that are coming out. The reaction to Drew Brees' commentary, reaction to Chris Olave being on K's show. All that's coming up for this weekend for the family members. So just giving y'all a little rundown and ball down. Also, Ring Kings Boxing got a few reports that'll be coming out for Ring Kings Boxing. Y'all be looking out for that. Y'all can follow our family of channels that should be listed at the bottom of our YouTube, the Pelican Postgame Report YouTube platform channel. If you scroll down, you'll see the rest of the channels that we have. Feel free to check them out. We do pretty much a lot of stuff. But yeah, 504 Fresh says finally, he says Queen Bee finally making the moves this year. She feeling the pressure, man. And the shout out to you guys. I'm gonna give the clap to you guys, not to her. This is for you. I'm gonna give the clap. That's the round of applause to the black and gold who fought to make sure she do it, and to the blue and red, the Pelicans, the faithful. The faithful were the ones. Like I showed a picture of the arena last night, fam. The arena photo. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. I don't know if y'all seen it, but there was a photo of the arena that was on a Saturday night. I mean, a Friday night rather. And this is what it looks like. If you look close on a Saturday night at a game against a good opponent, and look how the arena looked. Look at all those empty seats all scattered throughout there. That's what it took for her to finally get the message before it happens, because all they care about is money. They tell you winning, but all they do is care about money. But, you can get the money, but you got to do it the right way. And they simply did not. They simply did not do it the right way. Right? All right. All right. So big ups to y'all, man. And like I said, it's good, man. We started off and it's over with. We got something else going on. Yeah. This is thank you, bro. I'm clapping for you guys, man, because we going through this all ourselves, man. And fam, we were so, man, I tell y'all, man, last night's show was so, I ain't gonna say it was depressing, but it was weird because you don't know where to go. Like you're doing a show and you looking at things and you're saying, man, people are looking for answers. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, fam, this is Gail. Fam, this is Gail. Fam, this is Gail. This is not Joe. This is not Troy. This is Gail. This is Gail. This is Gail. When are they going to make the move? Q, how many losses have to happen before they make the move? And you're like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It shouldn't be two more. It shouldn't be one more. It shouldn't be three more. It was just it was like being stuck in limbo somewhere. You walking down the street and things just keep repeating. So you realize you're in a time loop. You're not going anywhere. That's the feeling that the Pelican faithful were locked in on for the last, I don't know how many months, but especially days since 06, since the 06 start by the Pelicans, when they were having internal discussions at 0-6 when Joe wanted to fire him. Then it was Gail that said, no, give him more time. But then now in this article yesterday, she sit up here saying, no, it's no, we need this type of thing. And then when he gets his first win, from the 0-6, he gets his first win against Charlotte when they won 116 and 112. I showed the video footage of her walking in behind Willie Green, clapping for Willie Green for his first win. Right? I don't see any footage of when they lose. I don't see no footage of her in there clapping and all this kind of stuff. I don't see none of that, but they do turn the camera on when they get a win. See, that kind of up and down, inconsistent style of trying to show something is real funny style to me, because if you can turn the camera on when they get a win and see her clapping with them, why don't you turn it on when they losing? So I don't know if she's there or not. She says she is, but I called her in several lies in that article. The players don't need you hugging all over them. Them people got parents. What they do need is for you to get out of the way and allow that the people you hire, because I know Joe Dumars is the right dude. He's the right guy. But if you didn't hamstring him, because remember when they hired Joe Dumars, they were saying that then. that he's not allowed to touch Willie. So he did everything else that he could do. But as a man, as a top dog in the organization, you mean to tell me I can't get rid of the coach? I can't get rid of the coach, and the players are complaining about the coach, and I can't knock them off. That undermines me. But you usually hear Joe as vocal, but what happened? You did not hear Joe Dumars at all during that time frame. He was the one pushing to get rid of Willie Green. Like he said, she said that he grew up and he knows Willie Green. Well, guess what? If he knew Willie Green, he knows that Willie Green is a limited head coach. He's limited in his understanding of basketball as a head coach. If you know somebody, you know somebody, man. So it's what it is. It was a very weird feeling. Fam, listen, I missed the Portland game because I was traveling, but it's the energies like doing these shows because you're going to represent and show. You're going to show up for the faithful. But it's hard. It was a great degree of difficulty. And they've been doing this for a decade plus. It's hard to kind of, and like we've been through a lot of losing, fam. I ain't going to tell you no difference. Been through a lot of losing. But this sort of thing that we experienced when the ownership refused to get rid of the man, fam, I haven't seen something like that. When you got every reason to, and you just holding on to him, you are literally suffocating the team. You're literally destroying the team. The players are pissed off. The coaches, you can see the coaches are uncomfortable. You can see the staffers, their reports that the staffers were uncomfortable. They report an environment of toxicity operating with him in there. And then he's supposed to be religious, but he turned into a whole demon in there, being petty and doing real nasty, petty shit. And I don't respect him for that. I disrespect the hell out of him for how he behaved, how he lost these players. And they were justified in their analysis of Willie Green because Willie Green didn't know what he was doing. So instead of doing that, he played to that disagreeable side. And that's why I disrespect the hell out of him for that. You're not supposed to do that, Mr. Holy Man, religious man, Mr. Holy Man. But anyway, it is simply what it is, man. It's simply what it is. It's over with. It's a done deal. Bishop says blessings. Shout out to you, brother Bishop. One love. Terry says, watch the clip when he called timeout and Murphy looked. Yes, I know, Terry. Shout out to you, bro. I know I seen that, bro. And it's the same look and intensity that, like, if you look at him, Trey just looked at him like he wanted to smack the piss out of him. It's the Jordan Poole. If y'all remember the same thing, Jordan Poole hit the three and turned. And I think he went off for 30 points in that game. Y'all let me remember. Remember that? He hit a three and turned and stared Willie Green down as he was going back up the court. Stared him down. So they can't say anything, but you can see it in their actions and their energy toward Willie Green. They know he was a fraud and a fake because he was being propped up by the owner who don't know what she's doing. Right? So it was a very, I'm speaking about that. That was a very weird type of podcasting that we were doing. Every game, like people looking for answers and you trying to do your best to fam, listen, I don't know how long it's going to be till they, this type of thing. It was very weird, bro. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for a while and I've never seen a situation as ridiculous as that. I'm just glad it's done for. All right. Bayou says Willie Green is a bench player, just happy to be in the league. Yes. Yes, indeed. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Stacy says, what about the outside noise? Yeah, this was something. Yeah. Hit the quiet laugh.
Talk, boy. He ain't lying.
Yeah, that's a part of the game, man. We going through it, man. Like it just the new with Borrego, bro. We just happy, man. We're just happy that this whole dire situation with the team is over with. I'm happy for the Pelican faithful that we're finally on to something else because we've been having this guy around for 5 years. He had done some positive stuff, but that's not the point. The point is you've been here for years. You have to be able to build on every year, and you cannot use injuries as an excuse. You cannot use it. Why? Because everybody has injuries, not just you. Even though you might be impacted by them more, that's still on you because if you're impacted by injuries more than everybody else, then you have to start getting more investigative and looking into your organization to find out why your health staff is having so many problems with the injuries because everybody's doing the same thing. You're not doing anything that these other 29 other teams aren't doing? How are they able to keep their personnel on the court to help them win? You know, this is the sort of thing you have to delve into and do audits of the departments of your team. The health department, I've been yelling at them for years to investigate the health department for the Pelicans. That's what's been failing the team. The health department. They don't do anything substantive to the health department because they have these agreements signed with Oshner Sports Medicine side. They're locked in into it. So they're not going to criticize them. They're just going to keep doing it because they're getting paid off the arrangement between them. Be damn the team. But, you know, that's what you really have to do. You have to up that level of it. And then on the other side, you have to start doing personal audits of the coach, because it's only two places you're going to look at when you're looking at why the team is not winning. You're going to look at the coach. You're going to look at, you know, to see what's going on with him. You're going to go talk to players. You're going to do like a team audit. You're going to do a team audit. You're going to go through the different assistant coaches and players, and you're going to get their words, and then you go elsewhere with it. Then you go on outside. You talk to the supporters of the team and get their account. The people will tell you what the problem is. People are not crazy. They're not out of their minds, but the people know exactly what the problem is with the Pelicans, especially if you're a pattern recognizing person like myself. Shit, I'll be looking at, I know what they're doing. I know what time it is, because you can see it. They can't hide the body language. It always tells the truth. Bayou says 5 years and no team identity. Indeed, bro. That's what you have to establish. The man never established an identity. Hell, we were not a consistent. We couldn't even do the fundamental stuff right. We couldn't hit a high clip on the free throws. We were not a good offensive rebounding team. This was this one hitter quitter offensive style where you put up a shot, right? And if the shot goes in, great. But, you know, we counting on them to hit that one shot. There's nobody underneath the basket to rebound offensively for a stick back. At some point, people were freestyling. If they wasn't doing the little ISO ball and all this kind of stuff, they couldn't even set up the pick and rolls correctly. On defense, there was no communication going on. Their overload one side, rotations would be slow getting over. That's why Grayson Allen killed him. Grayson Allen hit like 14 3-pointers in that Phoenix game. You know, I mean, in that other game. So, I mean, it's the rotations were suspect, and he's supposed to be defensive. So at the end of the day, 5 years for a guy with no setup of anything from an identity standpoint. What are we talking about? That's one of the key things you have to build when you set a culture. Identity is a part of culture. You have to be able to understand we're going to be a blue collar, gritty defensive team, dive on the floor because we represent the region. It's almost like what Memphis did originally when they had Taylor Jenkins. They're going through some BS right now because they made bad decisions. But when they had other guys, there were Lionel Hollins and Tyler Jenkins and the guy before him. I forgot the man before him. When they had those coaches there, they were bought into the blue collar nature of what the Grizzlies' grit and grind situation was, and they played behind that, and they had a great deal of success behind the grit and grind identity. They bought into the region. It's a gritty, tough blue collar city. Hardworking city. That's the same as New Orleans. Gritty, resilient, tough, strong. That should be the identity of the team. Not soft, not all these fluffy words that David Griffin was doing. You know, the identity is there. You have to tap into it and adopt it. And when you do that, you'll see the arena get filled. And that's just something that Willie Green didn't represent. He was talking all this togetherness nonsense, all this rhetoric that did not fit what needed to happen. Then you will see guys like Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler and all these other guys disrespect the Pelicans and call them soft and all this kind of stuff. And what would the Pelicans do? They didn't do nothing. They just had their head down. Brandon Ingram walking with his head down. They didn't do anything about it. They called out the nature of the team. They didn't care. And you can't have players like that around here. And he was the main progenitor of that type of behavior. That's why he's out. Bishop said, Q, we got to hit that Gale in the pockets. I think we've done what we're supposed to do. The family is exhibiting its ability to control what happens with these teams. And people were saying for years, man, you don't have any control over what these people do with these teams, and they're going to leave and all this kind of stuff. These people are saying that don't know anything about business or the business of basketball. She is locked in with the city for years. There's contracts and agreements that tie her to it. The buyouts are astronomical. She doesn't want to leave, but there is such a thing as leverage. From a business perspective, there's leverage. You have leverage. You have more leverage than she does because she got all that money, and that's your money. She didn't grow it on no tree. She didn't print it in her basement with a printing press. She got the money from you, a collection of millions of people giving her the money that empowered her to the point where she has weight politically, socially, economically. She has weight because of what you gave her. You gave her all that power. You did. But the moment she steps out of line and off code, you do this and you chastise her financially. And that's what you did. And see how she called down all this billionaire person, second richest in the state, had to back down to little old you, huh? Because little old you ain't so little. I've been telling people about this for years, man. That's the power of being smart and strong in control of your economics. You can make these people do what you want them to do. You can remote control them. You can, if you don't like the coach, you don't have to show up. And while you're not showing up, you're telling them why you're not showing up and what you want them to do, and they're going to do it. I told you all that. I've been doing this for years. So anyway, it's a good thing. All right. Bayou says the marketing couldn't even make up the hat. Yes, indeed. Yeah, the hat did, because there were people, and I'm on the list. People contact me all the time. The tickets were so cheap. They were giving out lower bowl seats for like less than $200 for 4 tickets. They were really struggling to fit stuff in there. And that's not because in the Pelicans, people talk this dislocation. I mean, it's a relocation talk. It's not that. If you put a decent product on the court and you show, even if the team's not winning, if they're being competitive, people will respect that and go to the games because they see that the team is trying. And even when we get blown out, the people still show up. We still support the team, but it gets to a point where it becomes disrespectful. You know, it becomes really disrespectful. We like, man. No. This is a disrespect. And you draw your line in the sand. And that's what you did. So that's why I'm clapping for the Who Dat Nation, man, and the great great flock. We stood on business, man, and we won. State says Mavs got Nico out of there. Yeah, a couple of days they fired Nico because of the Luka thing, right? And I'm thinking when that happened, I was like, man, the Pelicans need to do something because the Mavs are trying to change the culture. They want to win, and we have to do something too. We can't be the last guy at the back of it. So it's just happy. Yeah. TFP says I got an email for 100. Yes, so you see the price drop. It was like 200 something, 220 or something like that for 4 lower bowl seats. He said I got an email saying 180 for 4 lower. It's going down, baby. Yeah, Stacey said Fizdale. There you go, in Bickerstaff. There you go, bro. Then Dave Yeager. There you go. Man, you want to talk about some coaches. Them people had some really good coaches. Dave Fizdale, JB Bickerstaff was over there. Dave Yeager is who I'm thinking about, Stacey. It was Dave Yeager. He was the one prior to Taylor Jenkins, Dave Yeager. They had some really quality coaches there, man. But all those coaches fit the philosophy of the grit and grind thing. They bought into it. So, you know, it simply is what it is. All right. So anyway, fam, listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, man. It's early Saturday morning. I just wanted to talk at y'all, man. The Pelicans fired Willie Green. It is official. This is off of their site. So you're waking up not dreaming. This is real. It's breaking news that this is coming straight from the Pelicans website. As you can see, pelicans.com. New Orleans Pelicans relieve Willie Green of head coaching duties. James Borrego is named interim head coach. So this is true. This is true. You're not dreaming. It has finally happened. We talked about this crazy. We talked about this last night on the show, man. We talked about this last night on the show. And matter of fact, shout out to my dog DC, because he's the one that says, man, we're going to wake, it'll be nice to wake up tomorrow morning and hear that the Pelicans have fired Willie Green. Well, guess what, DC? You got your wish. Hell, we all got our wish. All right, so anyway, with that being said, fam, do me a service, man. If you listen via X, shout out to my X people. Feel free to retweet. Get us a retweet. Get it out there to the faithful. Let them know, man. Willie Green is gone. James Borrego is in the building. Pelicans facing off Sunday afternoon against the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. What kind of team will we see, man, as we move forward? And it's about time, man. It's about time. The Willie Green era is no more. So this is good. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get on out of there, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button. If y'all want to join the channel by membership, please feel free to hit that join button, man. We in this thing, man. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace. And I am out.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.